Hello and welcome to the Mirror Gaming YouTube channel on this Thursday afternoon. And as you can probably tell, it's FC24 Club's Deep Dive Day. And I'm delighted to be joined by my esteemed colleague, once again, Lewis Barton. Lewis, how you doing? You all right?
Very good, yeah. Excited again. This one's been put off for a while now, it feels, but we're finally getting the Club's Deep Dive.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We've got the countdown, so shall we switch to the countdont? I think we shall. Let's go for it. Yeah, me too. Let's go to the countdown. Bear with while I just get rid of this image. There we go. And we're live, ladies and gentlemen, on the premiere. We've got less than a minute to go. In a minute, Lewis, can you talk about how excited you are for this and also some of the things we're expecting to see as well today?
Yeah, well, I'm an avid clubs player. I've always loved playing clubs, and I do always say it's the most social game mode. So from what we know so far, we know we're finally getting crossplay. That's the big one. That's the one that everyone really cares about the most. So players can now play together on different consoles. We're also getting a new, we're getting rid of the trait system, bringing in the new play styles, which is set to be really good as well. And there's a whole new load of customization, which we're excited to see. But crossplay is definitely the biggest one. All the fans were annoyed that it didn't come in last year, and every other mode got it. But it's looking like, you know, EA have finally listened, and even changed the name from Pro Clubs to Clubs, because that's what everyone calls it anyway. But yeah, some really good additions, and I'm hoping to hear more, especially about the new league system, the new tier system.
Well done for putting that all in a minute, Lewis. Well done. You were at the event as well, so we'll be answering questions after the reveal. But here is the Club's Deep Dive. Enjoy.
Welcome back to our EA Sports FC24 Deep Dive.
Let us know if you can hear it fine, guys. If you want it turned up or down, let us know.
Team on Clubs and Volta to talk through what's new in these fan favorite modes. Tim,
those are interesting kids.
Feeling great.
Oh, okay, so they're going to talk about Volta as well, but we're not bothered about that. We're just bothered about clubs, right?
I don't know anyone who plays Volta, to be honest.
Here we go. Crossplay.
Crossplay is finally coming to Clubs and Volta in FC24, and we couldn't be more excited to be able to allow our players to team up.
And we know how highly
what a goal!
There's only so much detail you can go into about it.
Similar to how crossplay works
now,
the
you
game
can now play with each
still
other.
generation specific.
Yeah, that's it.
And we'll also be able to play clubs on Switch for the first time ever.
Clubs on Switch?
This is just one small part of what
Clubs on Switch.
Some huge changes coming.
Did you say that?
This year.
Did you say? Okay, we'll touch on that afterwards. There's something I noticed then. But this is the new league system.
Come back season after season, just like their favorite clubs in real life.
It really feels like a revolution, and I just want to start there because when we talk about a new seasonal format, what does this all look like?
So the first
new seasonal format.
Year into seasons, and each season's theme and rewards will be inspired by the time of year and what's happening across the rest of the game.
Rivals.
In each season, there are 3 phases that clubs will compete in: a league phase, similar to division play from the past.
Look like division based.
Climb the divisions, and an end of season playoff phase to climb the leaderboards and earn club rewards.
Nice.
One point of difference though from traditional division play is there's no more relegation. So players will
no more relegation
points and climbing higher and higher in the divisions, and you'll only be reset at the end of each season.
All right, I'm gonna stop there because it's so many points.
Alex Scott making an appearance there.
I'm gonna start with promotion first because this is all new. How's this going?
I'm liking the new menus as well.
Me too. Me too.
Absolutely. Regular league matches and promotion matches.
We really wanted clubs players to have a bigger dynamic range for what's at stake within each match. We even have some really cool new match intros that'll set the stage as you load into each new match. So whether you're playing the first match of the playoffs, or you're up for promotion, or maybe your teammate just...
I really want a fan with a drum in my club.
Just the one. If it's the only fan, it's the fan I want.
Yeah.
Nice stadium. I've never got to that level of Pro Clubs, unfortunately.
No.
And the stage has been set now for playoffs.
Playoffs.
So these are the games we really want our players to mark on their calendar and round up the group chat for.
Absolutely. At the end of each season, clubs will be locked into their current division and the playoff phase begins.
That's cool.
Clubs are given a fixed number of matches to compete over the course of the playoff phase. With each win, your club will climb that division playoff leaderboard and earn end-of-season rewards.
None of the matches in the playoffs will end in draws, so whenever there's a tie, you'll go to penalties.
Which is realistic, to be honest.
And also, you'll earn unique Clubs League trophies to decorate your stadium, as well as your trophy cabinet as a reminder of some memorable playoff runs.
I love the
and you get the trophies as well. That's cool.
These trophies. So, when all of this ends, what happens after playoffs?
Each club's division will be reset at the start of each season, giving you the opportunity to climb the divisions again and again and push for playoffs at a higher and higher level. You'll keep your fans and reputation, though, as well as your new skill rating, which is something our community has been looking for as a way to measure their success over a longer period of time.
Actually got the worldwide
you mentioned it briefly there, Tim.
That's
fans and reputation. So how is this going
fans
to be
and reputation?
Right. Fans and reputation, how you build your club over the whole year. Essentially, Sunday League to Champions League.
Sunday League to Champions League.
Gain fans. And as you gain fans, your club's reputation will grow. Along with your club's skill rating, this is how you'll be able to track how far your club has come since the beginning.
Yeah, and these fans will literally make your club better. Fans will connect to your stadium, grow your club's reputation, and you'll unlock bigger and bigger venues to play in and decorate. Fans will also help you attract better players. The more fans you have, the better your AI team will be.
The more fans you have, the better your AI team will be.
More streamlined with stadium bundles that let you decorate your whole stadium with the click of a button.
Everything looking amazing here and building the atmosphere. So what's new to Pro?
I hope there's not a way you can pay for more fans to get better AI.
Let's not put it past EA to make it like that.
That starts with more options. Hairstyles, tattoos,
so this is
accessories.
Tattoos is cool.
Whatever helps people put their personal twist on their pro.
That's a cool.
And it goes beyond just looking good on the pitch.
Playstyles
are coming to clubs in FC24 as well. So if you want to have the power shot of Haaland,
that's really, I really like this. This is really, really good.
Ability to hit the target from long range. You'll unlock more playstyle slots as you progress, and you'll also earn a couple of playstyles plus that will allow you to dial certain abilities up to 11.
Where perks are more about covering your deficits, playstyles are very much used to amplify your strengths.
Addressing so many community questions and feedback here. And just to quickly recap, on top of everything that you just went over with play styles, we've got a new seasonal structure to clubs with it, promotion and playoffs, and an all new way to grow your club through fans and reputation, and of course, new pro personalization.
And more people to play with. Crossplay.
Crossplay.
This has been an absolute pleasure, guys. Brendan, Tim, thank you for going through all of this.
This is looking good.
Thanks for having us.
And that's it.
You can check out the rest of our deep dives, and welcome to the club.
And that's it. Well, there you go. That was the Pro Clubs deep dive, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to just go back to the start because there was something that really caught my eye at the start, which I'll go back to now. By the way, everyone
it's clubs, not pro clubs.
Just on that as well. Yeah, absolutely. Just before we go into it, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watching us on the YouTube channel now. We've got Rocking Games saying, Alex Hunter, let's go. Alex Hunter not confirmed. But let's go through some of the bits that we've seen. So something that I noticed when they were talking about crossplay, they said about Nintendo Switch for the first time ever. Right? You can play Pro Clubs on Nintendo Switch for the first time ever. Crossplay not available on Nintendo Switch version.
So that would just be Switch clubs to themselves now.
Just Switch clubs.
Yeah.
Which
so it makes a lot of sense, let's be honest.
Yes.
I would really not like to be paired up against someone playing clubs on the Switch.
No.
Some connectivity issues there,
and it's likely not to be the same version of the game either. As well is obvious as well, because the Switch is a far less powerful console than you'll get on the obviously next gen platforms, even the Xbox One and the PS4 as well. So that's really interesting. But how do you think Pro Clubs will change? How do you think crossplay will change Pro Clubs in the AFC 24, Lewis? How big a thing do you think that is for the community?
Yeah, well, when I went to the event, this is one of the first things I spoke about, because obviously there was huge issues with clubs or Pro Clubs last year. With connectivity issues, where if you had 11v11, it was almost impossible to get a game. And in my head, I thought, well, Pro Clubs, that's a lot more technical stuff for EA to sort of look after. Would that be an issue? And we got told that Pro Clubs and anything will help that issue, because now it opens that matchmaking pool even wider than before. And I think that's the main thing. I think it now means, there's a lot more options to play clubs, because towards the end of a FIFA title, or for this case an EFC title, usually in the past clubs has dropped off a bit with the amount of people who play it. I feel like it's very popular at the beginning, but the problem with clubs is that it's always been quite a stale game mode, no updates really, so you get bored quickly. So, unless you're playing 11v11 week in, week out, you sort of lose a bit of interest. You'll find yourself playing other modes. But crossplay, I think, for the fact you can now, there'll be more people you can match and play with, which keeps your interest in the game, as well as all the new additions as well. But I think crossplay was definitely needed. It was the most sociable game mode. It is the most sociable game mode, let's be honest. And it made no sense to not have it, so I'm really glad it's finally been introduced.
Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. And also notice as well, as with the same with Ultimate Team as well, I think it's pretty much confirmed as well that we're going to have female and male players within pro clubs as well, which obviously is massive for the community as well, because if people want to play pro clubs, doesn't matter what gender you are, you can just go into and play pro clubs as you want.
Yeah, I think we had that in FIFA 23 as well. That was the first year I think they had AI female players. But like when you mentioned obviously all the additions of new tattoos and stuff, like it's just this extra customization is just extra representation, isn't it? People who can make their pros more like themselves, which is the whole point of it. You're making you make yourself in game, not have the same person as the next person. You know what I mean? So
well, I always tend to make my favorite players rather than myself.
Oh really? Yeah. See, we sometimes have that. I saw something saying that this person came up against a team of players named after McDonald's items. So it was like McFlurry assisted like Filet-O-Fish.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, for me, it's more like like Adulterapt or like Nico Cranchar, or like players like proper like street players like Ricardo Quaresma, Hassan Ben Arfa. Like the streets don't forget sort of players that you would never play on Ultimate Team because they're not high rated or whatever, but in pro clubs you can really like max them out and like give them the traits that they would be in real life and stuff, and that's the sort of stuff that we get up to in my friendship group anyway. Is there anything particular as well you want to go back and have a look at in this deep dive?
The league system, I think, that's a big change. Like I said, I think FIFA past pro clubs, past FIFA titles, like I said, they always seem to get a bit stale because it was just like the old Division 10 to Division 1 format. And then once you reach the top division, you couldn't really do anything else. So I think the idea of having a similar process to rivals is really good because it just keeps things fresh. You'll be in the top division, it will refresh, you'll drop down a bit, gives something to fight for, and the new playoff system looks really, really intriguing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go into that division then, because as you can see, we've got a little graphic coming up in a minute that shows the progression of the fans as well, and you can see the fans and the reputation.
I think it just adds more realism to the game because when you start off your club, you are starting from brand new, you're fresh. It's very unrealistic for a brand new team that's just been formed to fill out a 10,000 seat stadium in their first ever game. So I like the idea that you need to earn your fans now. If you start off really low, the better you play, the more fans you get. The worse you play, the lower your attendance will be, which is exactly how it is in real life. So that's really interesting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see on this is how the reputation is going to work with fans. So in this instance, obviously, whoever's took this recording, they've maxed out their club on here, so they've got 50 million fans. They've got the level 10 rep level, world renowned rep tier, which obviously unlocks all the stadiums and all that kind of stuff. But you've got the different levels, and with each level, you'd expect like different fan base, different stadium, better AI players, all that kind of stuff as well. So I think that'll be really interesting. Definitely really interesting. Let's go to the. Sorry, go on, mate. While I find the league system.
Out of all the deep dive trailers I've had so far, I feel like you go into it with such high expectations because, Ultimate Team especially, you're thinking, oh, right, biggest game mode, what we got in store. Evolutions was cool, but I think apart from that, there weren't too many big changes, especially announced in the deep dive trailer. And with clubs, we've been so used to not really getting much. So I think out of all the deep dive trailers so far, this one's impressed me the most because the change is actually, unlike the past years where it's just been like, oh, and you can now have tattoos and different bits of customization and new tifos. There's actually real change going into the game itself with the whole seasons, the playoffs, to earn your fans. And it's just really exciting to see a very popular game mode in the community finally getting some big updates.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to play it now.
This is the one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm excited to jump in.
I have friends who will buy a FIFA title every 2 years, for example, because they don't want to, they just think, oh, what's the point of buying it a new one each year? Because they
not
aren't as into it as I am. Because it's not changed too much. So they buy it every 2 years, but now they're like, yeah, I'm definitely getting it for EAFC because crossplay is in pro clubs, which is the one thing we've always wanted, because not everyone's got the same console, EA,
Absolutely, and maybe there's a clubs mirror gaming clubs, something we can do there potentially that might be quite fun as well. With some of the because I know obviously me and you are the EAFC sort of players on the team. There's a couple of members that maybe aren't like that, but they sort of know football to a basic level. I think that might be a quite fun stream. So if you're watching, guys, because I know you are, that might be coming. But let's have a look at seasons then, how that's going to work. So we've had seasons with online friendly seasons, we've had rival seasons, we've had all those different friendly and not friendly seasons. But now these are coming to clubs, which is really interesting. So let's have a look. Is there anything that caught your eye from this bit? Let's have a look.
Well, to be honest, I haven't got audio like the Ultimate Team one. That's just for myself.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Discord. But so I can't really hear what they're saying, but with the league system, the way it is balanced, like this bit here, this really interests me. So, what's that underneath the welcome to the club? That's just starting from fresh, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is Division 5 is the lowest division, and it says you need 7 points to get to Division 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's right. That seems like a very small amount.
Yeah. Well, it could be. Maybe there's stages of each division. You have like 5 stages, so points get to the next stage.
Potentially,
you get towards playoffs, because it's going to be like, it's not like the past where you have the 10 games you play for a season. You got to get so many points. It's now going to be you have a time period where you got to hit certain points, and at the end it will refresh based on how many points you had.
Yeah, and then this is the playoff table as well, which is really interesting to me. So you've got a playoff table. You've got 5 matches, it says, to play on the playoffs, and then depending on what you do there, you get rewards, and you can maybe change divisions as well. I don't know, but
what teams are in that playoff table? Are they generic teams or are they actual pro clubs teams?
These are pro clubs teams.
Okay, so I wonder how they work that out, because we've never been able to see a league table before with other people.
That's true.
As clubs.
That's true.
So is it local clubs? Is it, is it just for show and tell? Is it you actually going to play those teams? It'll be interesting to see if they've actually put you in a pool with those players and then you need to play against those teams. But that sounds a bit too technical.
I think it'll be sort of how matchmaking is done with, say, division rivals. So if you're in division rivals of Division 3, for example, you can only match up against people in that division at that time, right? Yeah. So I think the playoff table will be every team in that particular division, and then it's just randomized depending on Well, not when I say randomized. There's this thing, isn't there, about like how many, if you win a certain amount of games in a row, you get harder matchmaking, all that kind of stuff, and play against people who've also won 3 in a row and that type of stuff. But that's how I presume it'll work, because they've already done that with other modes, which would make sense as well. But yeah, with this one, it looks like you've got 5 matches to try and climb the playoffs. Then, depending on where you finish, that's where the rewards come in. So that'll be interesting.
And I think like Ultimate Team, where you have seasons, like each season has a refresh. From when I spoke at the event in Amsterdam to the developers, they explained that the seasons it will refresh every season. So you only get access to the playoffs at the end. You won't have access to that after a certain amount of wins. It will be depending on what the date is, what the time is. Then now you can access the playoffs. So I think again that's really interesting.
Yeah, that looked like a little like pro division as well. Did you see that? So there was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then potentially some sort of like competitive division. I think that could be really cool to have that in there as well. Something that I found interesting as well is when that club went up a division. Did you see they gained 250,000 fans? Did you see that?
Oh, wow!
When it came up,
one division.
There.
250, yeah.
Which is really interesting. So it'll be. I just want to play it. I just want to play it and see how it works.
Yeah, I think this is the mode that's definitely excited me the most from the new editions.
100%.
Like I said, these are actual big changes being made to a popular game mode, and the crossplay is the biggest introduction, obviously, but the actual game mode itself is looking good this year, which is great.
Absolutely. We've got here, so we've got promotion match, top left. I don't know if you can see that. So this is like the playoffs, promotion match. Crossplay disabled, so I didn't have it on. And it says wins required to promote. That's really good. So it gives you an idea of how many wins you need as well. Pretty basic, I suppose, but it's just nice to have in there.
At the end of each season, clubs will be locked into their current division.
At the end of each season, the clubs will be locked into their current division, and the playoffs will start. That's what they just said.
Right.
And the playoff phase begins.
Matches to compete over the course of the playoff phase. With each win, your club will climb that division playoff leaderboard and earn.
There you go. Look, so you've got the fans going up, you've got the skill rating going up, reputation. This is where the league table is that we talked about: goals scored, goals conceded, and then these are the rewards for if you finish second in Division 5 playoffs. You get a trophy, a bronze trophy, 17,500 fans, and then whatever these are skill points and
coins. I think that's Volta coins, which is when you can upgrade customization. So I'm pretty sure.
Right. Okay. So
that's like you get your tattoos and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So you might need to play pro clubs to advance in Volta and vice versa as well. Similar to how we had it last year. That must be skill points. Yeah, must be skill points for your pro.
The fact is that 100?
That was 700.
So okay, I'll be interested to see how it works then, because they might be changing it. Because right now, you want to upgrade something, it costs 1, 2, or 3 skill points. So if you're getting gifted 700,
they must be fresh.
I'm going to assume they've updated the system a bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, after one division upgrade, you have now a 93 rated player.
There was a screen that I saw. In the video, and I'm going to try and see if I can find it, where they showed the player upgrade graphic.
Yeah, that was towards the end, I'm pretty sure.
Was it towards the end? And I'm sure.
Playstyles time.
Yeah, playstyles. Yeah, okay. So let's see if we can catch a glimpse of any upgrade screen, and then that will be able to see the skill points. Okay.
I'm maybe a bit too far back then.
I definitely saw it. Let's see if I can. Oh, here we go. Is this skill rating? No.
No, this is the overall leaderboards.
Maybe it was near the start then. Here we go. That was it. That was it there.
Oh, okay,
there you go.
Yeah.
So so this particular player is at level. So you've got XP. You get XP to get up the divisions. Oh, it doesn't say how many skill points they have.
No.
It doesn't say how many skill points they have.
Get that quite, which I can't lie, they were updating the system and didn't include it in the trailer. That's a bit weird. So you think they'd go into it? They had updated it and freshened it up a bit.
They must be though, aren't they? Because like you said, 700 skill points is a lot. That's a lot to be able to.
With these.
Here we go. One skill points available. It does say at top right.
Maybe it's not skill points then, that the SP thing.
What else is SP for?
Unless it was 700 between the club, but then that still makes no sense if they're keeping it as 1, 2, and 3. I don't know. Maybe So could you explain to me how you can get playstyles, because I couldn't hear it.
Okay. Let's have a listen to it then.
And it goes beyond just looking good on the pitch. Playstyles are coming to clubs in FC24 as well.
So spend your skill points to improve your attributes and overall. So it looks like you've got 2 playstyles plus, and then 5, and then up to 6 playstyles.
Yeah.
So if you want to have the power shot,
and I think it was 3 traits you had. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pro clubs.
You can equip that and take to the pitch, knowing you'll have that special ability.
You can equip that and take to the pitch.
You'll unlock more playstyle slots as you progress.
You'll unlock more playstyle slots as you progress.
And you'll also earn a couple
so that's going to be based on rating then.
And you'll earn playstyles plus. So I think you start with playstyles only, and then you can unlock playstyles plus later on down the line.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Which is how you'd expect it to be, because playstyles plus will give you much more powerful pro. Right?
Extremely overpowered boosts. Yeah, it
exactly.
Like it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I can't wait to play this. Genuinely.
I think definitely the mode I'm most excited for. I think this has been the final deep dive trailer as well now. So that's it before EAFC. That's everything we're gonna get now.
We haven't seen Volta yet, Lewis.
Well, that said Volta was included, didn't it?
We haven't had a Volta deep dive though.
Well, that showed Volta a bit. Surely that's I mean, I don't know how much detail they can go into Volta. Because sort of clubs and Volta are the same thing. I don't know who actually plays Volta. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to be playing Volta. I'll tell you that much. No. But yeah,
I think there was beginning of FIFA this year, or it might have been end of FIFA 22. There was an objective and ultimate team that said you would gain like 5,000 XP if you played 3 skill moves in the Volta game modes.
Oh, and really?
It was making players go from Ultimate Team to Volta, being like, play this game mode. We need people to play it. If you play it, we'll give you Ultimate Team XP.
Wow.
I know. And it did get me playing it. And I can't lie, in Volta, the skill games are actually quite fun if you got a group of mates to play with, because they're actually enjoyable little tasks which you can like do. But to actually play like a career in Volta just sounds very draining to be honest.
Absolutely. So obviously, if we didn't say before, you were at the EAFC live reveal event in Amsterdam. You had a chat with a couple of developers there, including the guy who looks after the producer for Volta and Pro Clubs, and that interview is on our YouTube channel if you want to go and check that out as well. But what is there anything that he said in particular that isn't in this, or that's something a bit more interesting for people to know that we haven't seen?
Well, I think it was all bases covered, really. I think the one thing he highlighted the most was the fact that they really valued the community, and they really wanted to listen to their input from last year. Where I think you can tell that in the trailer. Like, there's a lot of new additions. There's a massive overhaul to the league system, which, like I said earlier, has been stale for quite a while now, and I think that's what a lot of players complain about. So that needed a refresh. Crossplay has been called out for ages, so they've renamed they've added crossplay, and they've renamed it from pro clubs to clubs, because they said most people in the community who play it called it clubs anyway. Do you want a game of clubs? So they've just renamed it as well. But there was that the whole idea was they want to keep the community happy. And they did hint at regular updates throughout the season. So hopefully, down the line, you will get updates to the league system maybe, or new additions, which I think would be quite cool. Because you look at modes like Ultimate Team, they're getting, you get updates every single week. And then other modes like clubs are sort of just left from the day one to the end, no updates at all. I think they just want to avoid having another situation like FIFA 23 where #SaveProClubs was trending.
Well,
and EA were getting a bit of backlash from that. So I'm pretty sure they want to avoid anything like that again. And based on what I've seen so far, it's promising. It's promising.
It is very promising. Well, thank you so much, Lewis, for joining me to watch the Pro Clubs deep dive. And thank you to everyone who's watched us as well on the stream. Or if you're watching later, thank you so much for going back and watching. We have got an exclusive YouTube interview, at least, with the Pro Clubs producer on our YouTube channel that Lewis did at the EAFC live event, reveal event in Amsterdam. So go and check out that if you want to know more. But we'll be going live on the channel at 6 p.m. Today for the Warzone live event, which is why I keep saying live event and getting it confused with reveal. So we'll be going live at 6 p.m. for that Warzone live event. So make sure you stay tuned if you're a Warzone player. But if you're an EAFC 24 player, you can't be, because it's not out yet. But if you're going to buy the game, there's loads of content on our channel, so go and check it out. But from me and Lewis, it's bye for now, and we'll see you very soon on the channel. Thanks again for joining me, Lewis. Been a pleasure to have you on, as always. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.